Paul here, and I'm talking to Amanda about a little testimony that happened some time ago, way back. But it might help someone out there who is struggling with smoking. Maybe you'd like to tell us about it.
Well, before I smoked, I was a fitness leader and a health fanatic, and I taught my boys all about the ins and outs of why we don't smoke, what it does to your body, and then circumstances in my life, something quite traumatising happened. My children were taken away, and it took 10 days in court to get them back. They were stolen, and I had a breakdown. I was already quite ill, and the people I stayed with who were looking after me smoked 3 packets of cigarettes a day between the two of them in the house, and it was their social thing. And I asked for one, and they warned me, don't start, and I said I'll be fine, and I got addicted. And because I disliked the smell of it so much, and I didn't want it in my boys' clothes or lungs, I would smoke outside and I would push them away from me. I say that I did that in love, but I was pushing them away. And so I had my spot where I'd sit and smoke, and then if I needed to go out, I would go and take a shower and get into clean clothes because I couldn't stand the smell of it. And for 3 years I smoked less than I smoked because I gave up about 100 times, and I tried all sorts of things, and none of those stuck, including on the way home from school one day, my 5-year-old son said to me, "Mummy, who's going to look after me when you die?" And I said, "Son, I'm not going to die. What makes you think I'm going to die?" And he said, "Well, Mummy, you smoke." And that hit home, and I gave up smoking, which I did many times for many reasons, but it didn't stick. And then one day I was out in front of my pond, and I was on my own with God, and I was getting real with him about some things and pouring out my heart to him. And I'm saying, "God, I this and I that, and I don't want to do this, and I really don't want to be trapped in that anymore, and I don't want that." And all of a sudden I had a cigarette in my hand already. I looked at the cigarette and I said to him, "And I don't want to smoke anymore." And I threw it on the ground, and as I threw it on the ground, I believe I stomped it. A wind that I could feel, very real wind, but I think it was spiritual, came from the right across me and to the left, and when it came onto me, I saw in the spirit and felt it, a huge chain right around my body unravel and go to the left in the wind, and replacing it was the most incredible blanket of love and peace. And I was just like, whoa. And I looked down at the cigarette, and I knew that there had actually been something attached to that cigarette, and that is the difficulty that I had in giving it up in my own strength. I knew it, and it made me determined not to smoke again, and I felt freedom. A short time later, I was travelling with my young son from Adelaide to Melbourne, and the circumstances were, there was a lot of stress involved, and we stopped overnight and stayed at a place in Halls Gap at a cabin, and I went for my morning jog, and quite a long jog, and on the jog on the way to my destination there were 2 perfectly whole new cigarettes on the path, and I stopped and I looked at them and I said, well, they're dirty because they're on the path, but if I saw a packet of cigarettes that were clean, I could think about it. And I kept jogging, and there was a packet of cigarettes further up with 2 missing, and it had only slightly opened, so they looked clean to me. And I said, well, if they're still there because someone's obviously dropped them, when I get back, which was quite a long run, then I'll consider it. And so I went to the end of my run, I came back, and there's the packet of cigarettes still there. So I picked 2 of the cigarettes out of the packet and put them into my runner top, and I could visualise myself sitting, because I was quite stressed, sitting on the veranda, and I'd have to ask my son to move away from the cigarette smoke. I could see myself relaxing, smoking these 2 cigarettes. And I'm jogging along, and then suddenly I felt filthy dirty. I felt so dirty, and I knew it was the cigarettes inside my top. And it took effort, actually. It took effort, and I'm thankful for the feeling of it feeling so dirty, because I knew I had to do it immediately. I pulled them out of my top, I put them on the ground, and I stomped on them. And I thanked God, and I kept going. And that was a test. That was a genuine test. And I am very thankful that God helped me to give up a habit that in no way, shape or form did I need. And I give him all the glory. He rescues us.
Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you. Hallelujah. If you're struggling with an addiction, hand it over to God. Let God help you. And he will. He'll find a way where there seems no other way. Good on you. Thanks, Amanda. Great.